So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Raider Critique. This episode is brought to you by the NWA, the Nation with Attitude. When you want it real, you come get it from the real ones. Don't go over to the fake ones. Now let's hop on over into this episode, man. I want to salute everybody who's already up in the chat. Man, thank y'all so much for being here. This is the second annual drawing for the Raider Nation Challenge Coin giveaway. And I've also got a few other things I'm going to add in there as well. But let's get with the Raider news first. There really isn't much. But, hey, got to report on it because, hey, it is still Raider news. Derek Carr pretty much says fuck you to any trade with any team, pretty much making it to where we are going to have to release him. And ultimately, they did. They got rid of him. It's a $6.6 million cap penalty, but we're also saving roughly around $29 million, which, hey, I'm cool with that. I mean, I don't really know how these contracts work. I don't know on whether we're going to have to sit there and pay that $29 million over an umpty-ump amount of years. You know what I mean? But when we go to over the cap, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go over to that right now to where everybody can see. Because when it comes to over the cap, man, over the cap's normally got it pretty right. Now, thanks to Raider Ben, I was able to get a Nightbot to go ahead and jump in and moderate on some of the chat. You know what I mean? There's only certain words, I pretty much go against racism. So any racist type slurs, anything like that, Nightbot will kick you. And then also, like if you're a spam bot, porn bot, anything like that, the certain words you use, that will ban you as well. But most cuss words are pretty legit, and it's pretty much a free-for-all in the chat. So, moderators, use your best interest, use your best judgment wisely on when kicking somebody out. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is over the cap. And I think that I've got it switched over for y'all. No, actually, I do not. You guys are still looking at Derek Carr being cut here. Let's move on over to that. This is over the cap, man. Now, over the cap here, it says it right here. Our cap space for 2023 is $48,389,838. These are all the the free agents that we are going to be either re-signing or losing this year. There's quite a few people on here. Deron Harmon, Jayon Brown, Keelan Cole, Rock Yassin, Josh Jacobs, Denzel Perryman, Jerry Tillery, Brandon Parker, Foster Moreau, Mac Hollins, Jordan Jenkins, Cleveland Farrell, Andrew Billings, Sidney Jones, Jermaine Illuminor, Anthony Averett, which I do believe we already made him a free agent. We got rid of him. Isaac Rochelle, whose woman is more famous than he is. He's an unrestricted free agent. Alex Bars, Jakob Johnson, Roderick Teamer, Amir Abdullah, Harvey Lange, Micah Kaiser, Natane Muti, Matthias Farley, Kyle Pecco, Horonis Grasu, Tashawn Bauer, Jarrett Stidham, Jesper Horsted, Jackson Barton, and Curtis Bolton. Now, the one thing I was looking at is that when we go up here up to the top, the total existing dead money is $29,402,499. So that is based on over the cap. I do not know on whether we're going to have to pay this amount back. I'm pretty sure y'all know. Some of y'all probably got a general idea on how these contracts work. You know what I mean? And whether we're going to have to pay that $29 million over, the course of the next 5 years or so, I mean, it's a possibility. Just really depends, man, on how they're going to do it, because they change the rules every year. But Derek Carr was ultimately released, where we're going to suffer a $6.6 million cap penalty, but And he was also interviewed by the Jets. I believe that he is actually looking pretty hard into the Jets now. He told the Saints that he wasn't going to get traded to them. And honestly, I think it was because the Saints offered so little. But really, bro, I mean, a lot of people are out here pissed off at him for what he did. I'll be honest with you, I'm not pissed off for what he did because I kind of expected it. You sit there and you watch my previous videos. I sit there and say when it comes to the point where they were all feeding us false hopes that he was possibly going to get traded, it was already stated out there from Derek Carr that there was no way a trade was going to happen, and a lot of people stuck to their guns. I, for one, I would have loved to have seen him traded, but I just kind of knew it wasn't going to happen. I knew we were going to ultimately have to release him because he wasn't going to do us any favors. All right? And what I'm talking about, a lot of people sit there and talk, oh, well, he wasn't disrespected. He got paid a shit ton of money. Maybe from the organization he was paid a shit ton of money, but he was also fed false hopes. All right, and what I mean by false hopes is they gave him, and I've mentioned this before, they gave him everything. Everything he could have possibly wanted, except for maybe a veteran offensive line who could actually pass block. But other than that, they gave him his best friend in Davante Adams. They surrounded him with weapons, with dudes like Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, but then we got one, maybe two guys on defense. And I'm not making excuses, man, because 29th to 32nd in defense every single solitary year that this dude was a part of the team. I mean, you got to do better. We had to be at least a top 15 defense to even remotely smell playoffs, and somehow we made it. But also it seemed like that this team was a lot different back then, especially 2016 when homeboy broke his fibula. The team was different, and his game did change an awful lot ever since he broke his fibula. He really got gun shy. It doesn't look like he likes to be hit, and I think it's because it's always in the back of his mind that one injury can literally end your career. He also played under a lot of injury as well. I mean, I don't see why everybody wants to disrespect the guy with as much as he gave the team, but the team also ultimately did not build a defense around him to help him succeed. And it was the same thing last year. It was the same thing last year. And the offensive line, regardless of what PFF graded them as, which I'm sure that they graded them as a whole, run blocking and pass blocking. Pass blocking, this offensive line was dog shit. All right? And even with Stidham back there against the 49ers, he was running for his fucking life. He took a few really good licks. You feel me? He took a few really good licks. And that was because that offensive line is not up to par when it comes to pass blocking. Especially fucking Jermaine Illuminor, the walking penalty. I mean, damn. Let's be real about that, man. So ultimately, when he took that big major contract and he put in that no trade clause, which was a smart move. You know what I'm saying? That was a very smart move on his part. But when he took that big ass contract, he literally bet on himself that Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, and everybody else, Max Crosby, on that existing team was going to be enough for him to be able to bring this team back to the playoffs and win a playoff game, which ultimately did not happen. He bet on himself and he failed, which is why he was released. So, I mean, more power to him. He wants to go to the Jets, and if the Jets stupid enough to pay him more than $25 million a year for a quarterback who can't play in cold weather, because we all know that, then be my guest. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that the best fit for him would be somewhere in a nice warm place or a stadium, a covered stadium, a dome, somewhere like New Orleans, would probably be a good fit for him. But then again, this guy's going to be walking around with a chip on his shoulder, which means he's going to ultimately play better for whatever organization he goes to. And the reason why he's stuck by the contract negotiations is to where it doesn't screw it for every other player out there. The NFLPA probably hit this dude up and was like, look, bro, you need to go by contract standards. And if you waive that no trade clause just to go ahead and get traded, you could fuck it up for every other player who's playing in this game right now with their no trade clauses in their contracts. You see what I mean? So it's got to go by contract guidelines, and he probably did that as a favor to the NFLPA by upholding his no trade clause. I want to salute everybody in the chat, man. Thanks for showing up here. But even though with Derek Carr fucking pulling the hoe shit he did, and yes, it was some pretty hoe shit, but I didn't expect him to help the damn team, because for the simple fact, if you fucking look around and you look since 2017, the ridicule this dude has gotten from his own fan base, all right, I would feel kind of betrayed too. And anybody, put yourself in that situation, bro, and tell me you wouldn't do the same thing. Why would you want to help out an organization who pretty much shit on you? They might have paid you, but they did shit on you by not filling the right pieces in. And then they pretty much brought in the quarterback killer in Josh McDaniels, who comes in here no matter where he goes and replaces the starting quarterback. So, I mean, come on, man. Did you guys really expect him to do us a favor? He wasn't going to do us a favor, especially with all the ridicule he's gotten. He had to do what he had to do to keep up the contract negotiations so every other player in the league doesn't get fucked on their contract, that it sticks word for word. And that I can get behind. But even though he's done pretty much hit us with a $29 million cap hit, we got a shit ton of draft picks, and we didn't even need to trade him to get more draft picks. These are our draft picks, and this is what has been specified. I got this off of CBS Sports. Round 1, pick 7. Round 2, pick 38. Round 3, pick 70. Round 4, 108. Round 5, pick 141. Another round 5 from the Falcons at 144. And then the projected compensatory picks is round 5, 174. And then we got round 6 at the 202nd pick from the Cowboys. Another round 6 for a projected compensatory pick at 219. And then round 7 from the Cardinals at 222. And round 7 from the Patriots at 233. So we got an 11 picks total this draft. And I think we need to use every single fucking one of them and not try to give away any of these picks for any of these mythical bridge quarterbacks that we possibly could get. And even with the $29 million cap hit, the Raiders are third highest in cap room in the NFL at $48,389,838 million. I will definitely get behind that. And with all the compensatory picks that we have literally picked up, when you go back there, round 5, round 6, you know what I'm saying? Those are going to be helpful as well. So I'm thinking that we need to keep every draft pick that we have. I know a lot of people out there are saying try to trade for Aaron Rodgers, but a first, third, and a fifth for a quarterback who may not last 2 seasons, that's too much. So as long as we can get, like, say, get him for like a round 3 or a round 2 pick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving up my number 1 pick for Aaron Rodgers. There's just no way, dude, because there's really no way in telling on how long this dude is going to last. He's already got gray on his face, for Christ's sake, man. 1, 2, 3 years tops is what I'm giving Aaron Rodgers, bro, and he don't look the same anyway. So, yeah, I mean, you really look at that, man. Let me go ahead and hop on over to the Shield, because the Shield is actually where I want to be and get away from all of that fucking slideshow I had to make. But, man, thank you for everybody for showing up, man. Look at this chat. It is full. I've got to sit there and pretty much put all of you in here for the next drawing, which that's the portion of the show that we are in now, which is the Raider coin drawing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and list the credentials on what it takes to get in this drawing. First off, you need to be in the chat participating. You also need to be subbed to the channel. I write your name down, and I also now have Nightbot. Nightbot is going to help me keep track of everybody who has been in the chat participating. And then you will receive one of these Raider patches, one of these Raider Critique patches. All right? You can iron them on, but what I suggest doing, which every one of my jerseys behind me have one of these patches on it, I iron them on and then I stitch them in to make sure they stay. Now, I get these from Raider Vic, the bad guy down in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the one plug I'm doing on this channel here right now. But Raider Vic, the bad guy, is the one who made these patches for me. And it's also Digital Prez, who had redesigned my logo, coming up with this badass logo that I was able to send to Raider Vic, the bad guy, to where he could go ahead and make my patches. Now, if you are in the chat and you have already received one of these patches, then all you've got to do, look, you got to hit me up on Instagram. And if any of my mods are in here right now, if you wouldn't mind, please posting my Instagram up. You got to hit me up on Instagram with your address or P.O. box. All right? Now, I will never share your information regardless on who you are and who you talk to or whatever. Your information is always safe with Raider Riot Gun of the Raider Critique. You know what I mean? But I'm going to send you one of these patches. But you have to hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, which is right down below here. You know what I mean? Hit me up with a direct message giving me your address to where I can send you one of these patches. Then you just send me a picture of you with your patch, bro, and I put you in the drawing for one of these badass Las Vegas Raiders Raider Challenge coins. You know what I mean? I'm going to be giving away 4 more of these, and it's going to be 3 more after this show. Okay? But somebody in the chat and somebody who's in this hat, which I added 11 names over the week after sending off their patches. Now, I know you guys probably don't have your patches yet. You can send me your picture when you get it, but be understanding that if you hit me up this week and you asked for a patch, or even in the previous 2 weeks, if you've asked for a patch, you've sent me your address, your patch is on the way, and you are in this drawing for this Raider coin right here. Now, also what I'm going to do with this one, with this drawing, is I'm also going to add in a Black Hole Corona keychain. Now, this is from the San Antonio chapter. It's a Corona bottle opener, man, and it's represented by the Black Hole in San Antonio, Texas. And you'll also be getting that as well. So whoever is in the drawing this week will also be getting this keychain as well. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the bag. And now the fun part, we get to do the drawing. All right, now like I said, I added 11 names. Now those 11 names, and let me pull this off my board here. As you can see, it's a pretty long list, all right? Because I got a lot of you guys in here who have been participating in the chats, but a lot of you guys have not hit me up on Instagram. So that's where you're lacking to get your patches. You're not hitting me up on Instagram. But anyway, the additions are John Leon, Aunt 6, OG, Dirty Low. Hey, Bourbon, by the way, bro, Prez is not, he was supposed to send me your number, and he hasn't done it yet. So I'm just really waiting on him to send me your number, and then I'm going to give you a call, bro, and get your credentials. Jaw Raider, NorCal Raider, Brian Rodriguez, Sven Timon, Chris Nelson, and Raider Gabe. That is who were the names that were added into the hat this week. Now, there are a lot more names on that list of people who have not hit me up on Instagram. You feel me? And then, of course, everybody who was in last week or the last drawing is also a part of this drawing. I've probably got about 40 names in this hat. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can get it to where you guys can see it. They're all cut on little yellow pieces of paper. So we're about to find out which one of y'all is the winner of the second Raider Nation Challenge coin and also the Black Hole San Antonio Corona bottle opener. Man, look at this. Man, you look at all these people in the chat, bro. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are going to put me to work. I'm so glad that I went and got that Nightbot. Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate that shit, bro. So anyway, I'm shaking it up, and you guys know I am not peeking at this motherfucker. Now, Tubby Chili, I will add your name I will add your name as soon as you send me your address to send you a patch, bro. Right there on Instagram. Hey, Robert Pena, you're in this drawing, dude. I already sent you your patch. You're already in here. And Mr. Took Your Soul, you're in here too. That's what I'm saying, bro. All you guys got to do is hit me up on motherfucking Instagram with your address to where I can send you your fucking patch. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at InGun421 or even on Facebook at Nathan Gunn. Now, I've been getting a lot of spam bots and all that bullshit on Instagram and Facebook. So, literally, hit me up with a message on Messenger telling me who you are. And I will accept the chat. Or you can do it on Instagram and I will accept the chat and I will be able to speak to you that way. But other than that, I got all these IG Black Widow fucking porn bots trying to hit me up on IG all the time. So, check it out, man. I'm reaching in here to grab it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do, Bourbon. As a matter of fact, bro. Bam. All right. See, it is highlighting up. All right. So anyway, the winner is... you've been waiting for it. Digital Prez. Digital Prez. I will be sending you your Raider coin, and you are also the winner of the Black Hole keychain as well. Digital Prez, man. These are yours. Everybody give him a round of applause, man. Digital fucking Prez has made it, and he's fucking won himself a fucking Raider Challenge coin. And don't worry, everybody, if you have hit me up on Instagram and you have sent me your credentials, your, what your actual name is, I need what your name is, what your YouTube name is, and your address to where I can send it off to the right people. Hey, I demand a recount. Hey, man, it's all right. Digital Prez is only in here one time, so he only can win one time. So, it is what it is. Everybody else, man, I'm sorry you didn't win today, but I will be having another drawing as news comes in for these Las Vegas Raiders. And then we will be giving away 2 more coins, and then I've got a special treat for everybody because I am going to be dropping the link and also dropping the person that you guys need to get a hold of to go ahead and buy one of these coins for yourself if you don't win. So, you know, I'm all about giving back to the nation, and I really am all about just like trying to hang out with all y'all, man, and promote unity as much as I possibly can. And look at this guy, rigged fake news. Raider Way, man, it's not fake, bro. It's not fake because honestly, I can't see shit in this hat. And I write everybody's name down who sends me their address on one of these little pads of paper. You know what I mean? And once I write them down, see, first I look up at this list here, and if I've sent them a patch, I'll mark a star on it. You know what I mean? And then once the patch gets sent to them, they get a check mark. You feel me? And then that's how I know who to add on that yellow piece of pad paper right here. You feel me? This yellow pad right here to go ahead and cut them up and put them in the hat. So that's why I'm glad I went and got Nightbot, bro, because Nightbot's going to be able to help me do all that shit. And I might actually have to use, start using it to find out who's all in the chat and who's all participating, you know what I mean? And it'll give me a better roundabout number of who's all in here. So when you guys hit me up on Instagram, I know exactly who you are. You know what I mean? So I can go ahead and mark your name off the list, bro. So, yeah, like, for real, though, dog, like, hey, it could be rigged. You never fucking know, right? I'm just saying. But I'm doing everything I can not to fucking rig anything up. So, I am human, you know what I mean? So I make sure that, like, right before I do these drawings, I make sure I check the hat to make sure there is no doubles. You know what I mean? And, you know, I have found a few doubles in there. I'm not going to lie. Prez was in there twice before this shit ever started, and I yanked his fucking other name out because he was sitting there fucking doing other profiles and shit. So don't be getting no fucking ideas. You feel me? Don't be trying to get no fucking ideas and get more than 2 names on Instagram trying to hit me up so you can be in the fucking list twice. You know? But anyway, that's all the Raider news that we really have gotten this week. Now, we could talk about Aaron Rodgers. We could talk about, you know, trying to bring him in here. You know, but to me, I think that we need to go after a cheap free agent, man. Somebody who's not going to cost an arm and a leg to bring over here. And, oh man, I had porn bots in here. Well, hey, I hope Nightbot was doing his job. Shit. But, yeah, man, I really just think like a Jacoby Brissett would be just fine and then draft a quarterback. You know what I mean? So, I think that would probably be our best bet because it seems like that all of these other teams that are going as far as they're going still have quarterbacks that are roughly still on their rookie contract or on their first contract. You know, Patrick Mahomes signed a huge deal. And it looks like that it's paying off for the fucking Queefs, and that shit sucks. But they got a really damn good quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, and we need to find our own. We do. We need to find our own. Somebody who is mobile, who can get away from the pass rush, and somebody who can throw. You know what I mean? And these new quarterbacks, these new generational quarterbacks, they're a lot better than what a lot of these people used to be back in the day. You know, and I firmly believe that because of all the artificial growth hormones they're putting in the food, and also these new supplements that you can take, these performance enhancements. You know, these athletes are just a lot better than they were back in the day. And not to mention the rules are bent more to their liking to where they can excel. So it is what it is, man. And yeah, we could go with Stiddy and pick up a quarterback in the 4th. That would save us a shit ton of money. You know, but there's also some free agents out there that are going to end up, quarterbacks who are going to end up becoming free agents that I wouldn't mind at least giving a workout and seeing if they've still got anything left in the tank. You know, I'll be honest, man. Jacoby Brissett looked great all up until Deshaun Watson came in and took his place, and then they completely fucking fell apart. You know, the Browns completely fell apart when they pulled Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett was doing well. You know, I mean, see, there you go. And that's who I want, man. I want Hendon Hooker. Now, I went over and, you know, if you guys don't know, I run a gaming channel as well. It's called Abacab Classic Gaming. And I do all of my Raiders gaming content over there. Now, I did off-season for I had to go get the new roster and everything like that to make sure that it was as close as I could get it, because the cap room's not going to be the same because the cap room's based from 2005. You know what I mean? So I think it's like, I think we got like 156 million or something to play with in 2005 compared to what the hell we get to play with nowadays, which is well over $250 million. You know, but I went over there and I did it on that, and I was able to still release Derek Carr because, of course, the cap and how the money was set up isn't the same. I guess it was because before he got the contract extension was the roster that I got. Because he wasn't listed with the contract extension, he just pretty much was able to be released and go away without my team suffering any cap penalty. But I was able to get quite a few guys, man. I was able to trade and move up in the draft and go get the quarterback that I wanted, which happened to be Hendon Hooker. You know what I mean? And, shit. I think that if I can do it on a fucking video game, it doesn't mean that we can really do it in real life, but we've got to trust the process when it comes to McDaniels. And I hate to say it, man. You know, it's just, it is what it is. McDaniels is a fucking moron. I don't know if I'll ever like him. But I'm forced to have to believe in this motherfucker and drink the corporate Kool-Aid because there's really no other option. Mark Davis has been pretty much fucked all the way around when it comes to the John Gruden contract. He got fucked a little bit more over here on this Derek Carr not being able to be traded contract. And, you know, it looks like Mark Davis, as much as he wants to win off the field, doesn't look like he's winning off the field either because he's making bad decisions. And these bad decisions happen to be having to pay an idiot like Josh McDumbass to come in here and do what he's done. You know, but I'm not going to fault him for it because I think Ziegler has been a great asset. Look at how many draft picks we have. You feel me? So it's like, you know, you got to take the good with the bad and you have to fucking stick with this idiot. Hopefully he can get it together and start making this team look like a well-oiled machine, a well-oiled engine, rocking fluently, not missing. You know what I mean? And but let's be real, dude. I'm not too keen on him, man. And it's for the simple fact, dude. Look, he fucked up in Denver. When he got a second opportunity in Indianapolis, he stood them up. That doesn't show loyalty. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I think he just did what he wanted to do. You know, he wanted to get the big payday. He wanted the brand new facilities. You know, so Belichick was like, yo, why don't you come on back over here? You don't have to go to the Colts. And we'll get fucking Gruden out of here because that's the next thing that's going to happen. And you can go to Las Vegas. You know, that's another thing too, man. I think this shit was pre-planned the whole fucking time. I think it was pre-planned the whole fucking time. That's why he withdrew himself from Indianapolis, went back to New England as the offensive coordinator for one more year, because it was already fucking coming up that John Gruden's bitch ass was going to be gone by week 4 of the season due to these frivolous emails. I'm telling you, man, that's what makes sense. And the score of the Super Bowl, yeah, the leak was out, but it wound up going the other direction, and it wound up being like what, one more touchdown than what was projected. You know, they fucking just put that shit out there to just try to get people to bet and get all those people to lose that money in Vegas, to where Vegas can regroup some of this money that they've had to spend by putting that brand new stadium over there. You know, and I hate to be Mr. Conspiracy Theory, but man, I see that shit coming from a fucking mile away. And it does. It looks staged as fuck. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know if we're going to be able to go to a Super Bowl next year. I'm hoping that we're able to go to a Super Bowl and host a Super Bowl. And I won't bitch if it's rigged then. Because I would like to win a Super Bowl regardless on how... Fuck. Not regardless on how we were going to do it, because I didn't want Tom Brady on this team. You know? I'll take a Super Bowl, however, we're going to win it ex-nay fucking Tom Brady. How about that? But it is what it is, man. But I do appreciate everybody for stopping in. And yeah, that's pretty much your Raider news and Raider opinion by me, Raider Riot Gun, right here on the Raider Critique. But yeah, hey, and I don't think it's rigged, but I think the refs are in on the take. More than likely, I think the refs definitely, they had some really bad calls this year. And I think that the refs are pretty much in on the whole damn thing. Anyway, it's kind of like wrestling. You know what I mean? The refs in on it too. So everybody's in on it. And the only ones who are not in on it, or who are not supposed to be in on it, are us fans. You know, and that's real talk, man. That's real talk. And we'll see how everything's going to work. I'm hoping that at least we can win a Super Bowl But Raider Nation, don't be surprised if Derek Carr goes to a new team and excels. And the last thing I want to hear is anybody bitching about how we should have kept him, because, nah, man, the writing was on the wall. Derek Carr has to go. You know, he has to go for the simple fact to calm, to where we can all start rooting for the same quarterback again. We were way too divided when it came to this dude. So, we were way too divided when it came to this dude. So, it's actually a good thing for the Raiders' psyche and the Raider Nation psyche, that, and also Derek Carr's psyche, because Derek Carr is an emotional individual, man. He's an overthinker, just like a lot of us. You know, Mikey said that best, bro. He's an overthinker. And yeah, ridicule probably really got to him, especially since, you know, he loved everything to do with this fan base and this organization. You know, and maybe he really wanted to retire a Raider, and maybe that's why he's as butthurt as he is. Because to be honest, man, I wouldn't want to play for another team either. But he's going to do what he has to do to continue his career. And this blatant disrespect from the organization, bro, is going to give him a chip on his shoulder to play better. So kudos to you, man, in whatever team you go to. I hope you do well over there until you play us. And that's the bottom line. So anyway, man, I'm Raider Riot Gun. This is the Raider Critique. This was off-season episode number 8. At least I believe that, if I'm keeping count, that's what it was. And it was also the second drawing for the Raider Nation Challenge coin giveaway. So, be real, man. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook Messenger. You know what I mean? If you're in the chat and subbed to the channel, send me your address to where I can send you this patch and get you in on the next drawing. Anyway, if my mods would not mind posting up my Instagram in the chat, we'll go ahead and shove on out of here. You know how I always do it. We're going to hit it with the outro, and we're going to go with what we know, man. It's Raider Nation for life. And shout out to NWA, bro. Dirty, you're the shit. Raider Bid, keep doing what you're doing, baby. We got him up against the ropes.